even a 5-year-old can figure out that cutting foreign aid you're giving to countries that have massive amount of migrants coming over will only make those countries worse and therefore make more migrants want to leave. Like, that's basic logic. But the question is he just that stupid he can't figure out basic logic that probably a 6 or 7-year-old or 5-year-old could figure out? Or is he just doing this and saying this to continue creating a scapegoat and adding more numbers to that scapegoat and making people, especially supporters, feel like there is more of a problem? I don't know. It's very likely that he is that stupid, but it's also certainly possible he's just trying to make a already awful migrant and humanitarian crisis worse by cutting off aid from these countries, making lives specifically worse for those people. And yeah, it's very rough. So, wow, it's, whew. Yeah, like, why? We don't get it. We just don't get it, folks. I can't really figure out what is worse, the border proposal or the foreign aid cutting. It's ridiculous. People are like, oh, we give so much foreign aid. No, we give one of the least amounts out there. All right. From now we go from stupid to crazy with racist, Islamophobe, and conspiracy theorist Jeanine Pirro returned to air Saturday night on Fox News after a 2-week hiatus. We missed her so much. She learned from nothing from her time out, and she elevated her vitriol even more. Folks, it's getting pretty crazy. Here is the Jeanine Pirro. This is Jeanine Pirro's opening statement, as she likes to call it. Take a listen. It should give you chills.
You've stood witness to the biggest scandal in American history, bar none. The attempted coup of the United States government. They conned you, they gamed you, and they lied to you over and over and over for 3 years. They destroyed lives, reputations, and families. And in the end, no one coordinated with Russia. No one. Not Donald Trump, not any Trump, not anyone on the campaign. After 2 years of prosecutors savagely striving to indict
That's literally
the
not true,
president
by the way.
and everyone in his orbit, years of the mainstream media, the talking heads, the networks, cable and otherwise, the lying, liberal Hollywood hypocrites trying to convince you that he was an illegitimate president. But in the end, nothing. No collusion, no obstruction, nothing. And they didn't care whose lives they destroyed. What mattered was that they destroy the outsider, the one we, the forgotten men and women of America, put in the Oval. The outsider that convinced us that status quo was a choice and that he could do better. They chipped away with unending zeal, desperate for any connection, threatening families and witnesses and individuals' civil liberties to obtain their corrupt goal of removing the President of the United States. All the while, in spite of it, President Trump worked tirelessly to better our lives, our economy, and the security of this great nation. You know, we constantly hear about voter suppression from the left, but the biggest voter suppression effort ever took place at the highest level of our government as they tried to oust the man they couldn't control.
All right, so yeah, really incredible stuff from a certified lunatic. But like, I mean, imagine, like, people, this like legitimately riles a large portion of the population up. And this is just, again, not suitable. It's definitely something to watch. Because, like, I mean, who knows? The next person mailing pipe bombs to people's houses could very well be a supporter of Jeanine Pirro. Like, this is reaching people. This is not, like, there's an actual coup. Like, there's people saying there's an actual, the man they couldn't control, the man outside of the status quo. Like, you think the people listening, like, like the people listening to Donald Trump, and who support Donald Trump, like, just put yourselves in their shoes for a second. Like, think you're at home, chilling with your wife on a Saturday. You got your feet up, sitting on the couch, and I'll watch Judge Jeanine Pirro. No, what am I doing that voice for? I watch Judge Jeanine Pirro talk about say like Ted Nugent or whatever. I'll watch Judge Jeanine Pirro talk about Donald Trump. I'm so happy she's back, and the president's been tweeting support for her this past week, and I'm so glad she's back, and I'll watch her. And then she starts saying things like, literally, and I quote, I'll pull the page back up in a second here. But, like, as she starts to talk, opening statement. Oh, this is powerful, powerful stuff. I love this. She says, the only way to stop them is true justice. And that's behind the bars justice. Like, that's actively hurting the country. That's actively hurting the country. Tearing the country apart. Turning on people. All for what was a completely valid explanation. She lies about the findings of the investigation. She misleads her audience about it. And then says, okay, now let's go arrest these people. They committed a coup. They tried to take your president out. How do you think that resonates with the people who are mostly, who pay attention to Jeanine Pirro? The Trump supporters, the Cesar Sayoc Jr.'s, the people who are the devoted ones, let's just say. And, like, you think that's gonna, like, it's gonna say, okay, let's look at the situation from a reasonable perspective. Let's take a step back and say, oh, okay, how do you make this better? How do we bring the country together? No, it's a attitude of destruction. It's an attitude of elimination, and it's not great. It's incredibly disturbing. Yeah, so that's what we got in Jeanine Pirro, and hopefully, thank goodness. I mean, she's not leading the Fox News. She only can run the weekends, but this is some pretty dangerous rhetoric, because it's like I'm just pulling out some of the quotes here from this incredible monologue here. It's probably even more deranged than the last one. So yeah. See, these swamp scum, she says, lie for a living, from clueless Clapper on down. It's the first time in American history with people with unbridled power and determination to overthrow our presidential candidate and then plant the seeds for indictment and impeachment to destroy the will of the American people who voted for change in America. Like, he didn't even win the entire popular vote. Like, imagine being that he lost the entire popular vote. Like, you act like he was literally riding a wave of popular support. He was probably the least popular president ever for his entire campaign, according to every poll in the book, if they even believe that, which they almost definitely don't. He lost the popular vote by 3 million votes. Like, he's consistently failed to garner any respect from anybody outside his crazy base of supporters, and she portrays him to these people like there's a powerful cabal people out there to take him down, from the Hollywood liberals to the deep state people, to James Clapper, Jim Comey, all this. It's actually dangerous. Like, I don't even love for those people as well. It's like, yeah, this is dangerous stuff. I'm telling you, just don't be satisfied with the Mueller report. This is bound to happen again, because these arrogant, lying, condescending, leaking haters of you and me, and the America that doesn't have the power to do it again, unless she says, okay. This is about to happen again, because these lying, condescending, leaking haters of you and me and the America that doesn't have the power are going to do it again unless we stop them. And the way we stop them is with justice, true justice, and that's behind the bars justice. So what she's saying here is these people who investigated the president in what's a democracy in America, they deserve to be imprisoned, locked up, and thrown behind bars. Yeah, and you're telling me we're heading to a better place. Like, no, this is something worth watching. Ladies and gentlemen, that does it for Newsflash today. I sincerely hope you enjoyed the show and that you join us for our next episode. It's episode 300, ladies and gentlemen. This is Newsflash 300. This Thursday at 10 p.m. We'll see you then.